Hey everyone, welcome to this quick video where we're going to look at the modelling of a portal frame structure using Dynamo. So you can see that I've already started Dynamo and I've started a blank structural project inside Revit. So let's maximise Dynamo and we'll create a new graph. Now I'm going to actually create this using the structural design package. Now to get this you can just go to packages and then go to search for a package. And then in here, if you just type in structural design, you'll see that we can then search and you can simply just install that. So let's just show you where that is. So there's structural design. This is the one you want. So you just click on that down arrow here and that will install the latest version. Once it's installed, you'll see the various nodes in here. And if we go to the structural design shelf and then expand model, you can see here that we have a number of different tools, and the one we'll look at here is under frame. So you can see we have a certain amount of tools here to actually create our portal frame. So I'm going to begin here by using by width, height and angles. So the insertion point is already set for us, and you can see that is going to be 0, 0, 0. So that's going to be the datum. The vector's already set as well, but what I'd like to do here is control the width and height and angle of our portal frame structure. So I'm going to do this with some slider bars. So I've just right clicked here and I can type in the word slider and you'll see here we have an integer slider. So in here we're going to go to the additional settings under here, and perhaps I'll set the minimum width of 2000 and we'll have a maximum of 20,000. Yeah, and we'll change that in increments of 100 units. I can just double click on the slider to actually change this, and we'll call this one width. Okay. So then we can wire that in here. Now to copy this, I'm just going to hold down the control key and then drag, and you can see I can create a copy of that slider. This one will be the height. And again in here we'll just change some of the various different settings. So let's say the minimum is going to be perhaps 3 meters and the maximum perhaps is 10 meters. Okay, and again we'll have that step in increments of 100. And then for the angle here I'm going to create another integer slider. So again I just use control and drag through here. Okay, we'll just call this one roof angle in here. And here we can set the minimum, perhaps, let's make the minimum 2 degrees or 3 degrees, and then the maximum perhaps 45, and we'll step that in increments of a degree. Okay, so now that we've done that, if we run the script down here, okay, what I'm going to do is switch to the background preview and just zoom to the extents of the model. And you can see now the geometry has been modelled. However, Dynamo's given us a warning. Basically, it's gone out of the working range. So to change this, we can go to the Dynamo menu. We can go into Preferences. And under Geometry Scaling here, I'm going to go to Extra Large in this case. Okay. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll have this in automatic run, so that just continually runs. And of course, now when I play around with a slider bar, we can actually now see our portal frame changing. Yep, so we've got the height, width, and the roof angle. Yep. Okay. So let's progress a little bit further. What we want to do now is create some copies of this. So you can see that we have the copy option down here. And what we can do is wire in the 2D frame in here. And you can see here we have equal spacings, which is going to be set to true. The number of times is basically the number of bays. So again, I'll just do a copy down through here. Okay, and we'll rename this. So this will be bay quantity. Okay, and again here we'll set this, let's have a minimum of 1 and perhaps a maximum of 12. And again there we can wire that into number of times in there. Then we want the spacing. So again we can make a copy of this. I'll just take the height one this time. And we'll call this one bay spacing. Like so. And again in here, I could set perhaps a minimum of 2 meters, perhaps a maximum of 10 meters. Yeah. And again, I'll have that spaced out in 100 mil increments. Okay, so straight away now, you can now see that we have all of those bays instancing down through the model. And of course, now we can start to play around with the values in here, play around with the spacings, the widths and the heights and so on. Okay, so far so good. So next thing we want to do is we'll want to actually go ahead and create some purlins in here. So we'll go to the purlins option over here. And you can see it's asking for the rafters. So that's going to be basically the beams in here. Then again, we can define the number of rafters that we want. So again, I'll just use this slider here. We'll copy that down. And let's have a minimum of say 5 and perhaps a maximum of 20. And we can feed that in there. And of course now we can control how many rafters we want. Of course, another thing we could have done, if we wanted say 700 or 800 millimeters between the purlins, we could have actually created a formula to actually calculate out those precise values. Okay, good. So let's have some cross bracing now in the model as well. So I've just clicked on X bracing over here. And what we'll do is we'll feed in these points from the purlins. And then we can define the zones where we want this X bracing to be. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do this with a list. So we'll double click to make a code block. And in Dynamo, if you want to generate a list inside the code block, you start off with an open square bracket. So we're always going to want probably bracing in the first and last bays. So I'll say bay number 1 and then comma. And to represent the last bay, I'll just put in a variable called bay. And what this will do is this will give me an input at the start of the code block. So we'll take out a wire from bay quantity into here, and then we'll feed that into the zones. Okay, and we can now see that we have our bracing in there. Now, you can see I've just got a bit of renaming to do here. This is obviously going to be the purlin quantity, so we'll just type that in. Yep. Okay, so that's that done. Again here, of course, if we reduce the purlin quantity, you can now see that dynamically change. And now you start to get an idea of the power of this and how quick and easy it will be to actually create that portal structure. Okay, let's continue. We'll do a little bit more here. So another thing I'd like to do is actually put in some side rails in here. So I'm going to use side rails in this case. We'll take out the columns over here. And then we can just determine the heights of this. Now we've already got a slider here determining the height of the actual structure itself. So let's now make some calculations using a code block. So perhaps I want the first side rail to be, let's say we want it placed out at 300 millimeters. And then I'm going to use the notation ... So this is going to create a range. So I want to actually go to the height of the structure. So I'll type in height in there. And of course now, if I actually take out a wire from the height slider over here, what Dynamo does is it gives me a range of numbers like this. But of course I want it to step in intervals. So we'll say ... and let's say that I want 750 mil between the side rails. You can now see that it's calculated the levels of each of those side rails. Feed that in there, and there we go. You can now see we've got those rails. Okay, good. So now we've got all of the line work required for the columns and the rafters and the beams and the cold rolled steel. But the key part with this, of course, is very quickly now we can start to play around with all of these different values. And of course, don't forget, all of this is now being previewed directly inside Revit. So let's just use Revit as the preview engine here. And we'll just have a mess around with some of these variables in here. And of course, you can now see the structure dynamically changing on screen. Okay, so what you would then do next, and we probably won't do it in this video because it will just get too long, but what we could do next is we could go to Revit, we could go to Elements, and then we could go to Structures down here. So if we go to Structural Framing in here, you can see that we've got Beam by Curve. So what you'd be doing here is you'd be feeding in the beams over there. So in that case, that would be the frame copy ones. So these ones in here. And perhaps I'll just do one set so you can see how this will work. We have to give it a datum level. So I'll just type in the word level in the search bar in here. And we'll have this targeting level 1. And in fact, just to make this a bit more sensible, let's change level 1 to level 0. Okay, in there, and perhaps this one will change to, let's put in here eaves. Yep. Okay. Right, so that's that done. Okay, so of course now that's going to update Dynamo in here. So we'll set that to level 0. And then the structural framing type. So basically here I'm just going to search for that. So I'll just type in the word framing in here, and you can see here I've got structural framing types. And of course now I can go and pick my section I want to use for my rafters. Okay, and if I just wire that in here, what you should now see is that Revit has now modeled all of those rafters. And of course, going back to what we were saying earlier on, we can now just play around with all of these values in here, and of course everything is completely dynamic. Of course, you proceed through in a similar way for all of the cold rolled steel, bracings, and everything else. And don't forget, obviously, when you're using bracing, you want to make sure that you are actually placing out brace and not a beam. Okay, good. So that's just really hopefully giving you an insight into how you can speed up your structural modelling for typical structures such as portal frames. Okay, hope that's been useful, and speak to you soon.